So here I am yet again for week 9. I do this a lot, right? I just start talking to you in these videos often. Not the only thing I do. I'm doing it again, both because it's yet another week and I want to tell you what we're going to be doing this week, but also to focus on the aesthetics that I use. I know that's kind of a weird thing. I don't know how much I think about aesthetics when I make my videos, but it's certainly part of my process. You've been watching these videos because this is an online course and this is, I think, the primary way that I get to communicate with you. But also I make these just so you can get an example of what one person can do with online video, because you yourselves are going to be making videos. And I know you have all of the online videos that you watch, but you also have me to serve as a model. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the aesthetic choices that I make to help us start having conversations about aesthetics. I know it can be hard to talk about, but also to make what can be a very difficult thing much more relatable. Basically, you get information from me in 3 different ways. One, I sit here and I talk to you. This is probably the primary way that I get information. This is a very online thing, right? A lot of it is based off what kind of things I have available for me. I have a laptop, which has a camera right here that can record me. It's easy for me to make videos. I can put them in there and I can talk to you. I don't have really any fancy setup at all, except I have a laptop and I have these $9 headphones that I bought. This is vloggy, this is teachery, this is YouTubey. This is how people do it because it's really accessible to anyone. And this goes back to, things we learned about the low barriers to entry for online video. I do this because I can and because it's easy. A lot of the aesthetic of things you see on YouTube are just because of that, because you can and because it's easy, right? That's part of how this works. So that's why online video often looks like it does, because you can and because it's easy. I do try to keep my background kind of simple, but basically I'm in my house. I don't have many options to do that. The one aesthetic thing that I really work on is, one, having good sound, hence this stupid microphone that I don't like, and two, good light. And I try to get that by simply sitting in front of a window, and the window looks a lot better because it puts that light right there that you don't really want to see in the background right here on my face. Whew. I do edit my videos. That is, I record myself talking and then I cut out blanks and I cut out times when I mess up. Um, I edit it to clip it together. But also I'm here I am fixing what you're watching right now, which might be a little weird to handle. Primary way that I get to communicate with you. But also I make these just so you can, I also cut it up and put it together, not only to make it sound better, but also because I feel like that looks like some of the people that I watch on YouTube. There's actually a guy, his name is John Green, he makes the Vlogbrothers, and his videos and his brother's videos are very much like this, right? They splice together talking to make it much faster and the information come quicker. I do it to look like that. So the first aesthetic choice I make is I talk to you on the camera like this, and I do it because it's what I can, and I do it because I see other YouTubers do it, right? It's online video. The second choice I make is something you've already seen in this video. I show you my screen. Often I show you our course website, right? This, and I show you things that you're going to do in week 2, and I click on the outlines, and I talk about the outlines. I do this partly to help you see where you need to go, but also this is what I imagine you doing, and showing myself doing it kind of lets you see how I think about what you need to do about this. Again, I do some light editing here. Sometimes I zoom in on different parts of the screen. I cut things in and out to make that work better. Again, another big reason that I do this is it's free and it's relatively easy. I don't see as many YouTubers doing this, but I certainly see teachers doing this. It's a pretty straightforward tool to let students get insight into what you're doing on the computer. And it also mixes it up, right? It provides something else besides just watching me talk, right? You can look at different things on the screen, provides a little variety as well as assistance. So again, 2 things I do: I talk to you, I show you my screen. And then one other thing that I do occasionally is I take clips that you've made and I put them into here. I don't really need to talk about that much. You guys have already done some of this. You took those videos from one of your discussions and you cut out different chunks of what you were saying to share with me. That was great. But that's the third thing that I do. I take video that you've sent me and I put it into some of these videos. Sometimes, not as much as the other 2. Another thing that guides my aesthetic choices is the fact that I'm under quarantine with my family, who are now home. They went out, but now they're home, so I'm working in a different room. As well as the aesthetic choices I make, there's also aesthetic choices I make about stuff that I don't do. And you probably noticed this too. I don't use much text. I don't use music. I don't use sound effects. I don't really use any sort of After Effects video processing, simple things even like titles I really don't do a lot. Partly for time, partly because I want you to focus on listening to me, partly because I don't have much experience doing those things. So those are other choices of things I make to not do. That's just a simple discussion of some of the aesthetic choices I make in the John Jordan EAP 101 online videos that I make. One, to get you thinking about the whys of what different people do. We're going to be continuing our discussion with online video. This is a simple exercise on my own videos, so I can share some of those insights on the choices that I make and why, to get you thinking about all the different kinds of weird online video stuff, why certain aesthetic choices may be made in those. See, there's kind of two ways to look at it. There are artistic choices that are made, right? Aesthetics that the creator wants to make. And then there are practical concerns about what they can do, what they have available to them, and all kinds of different constraints on like what they're able to do. But those guide, all of those actually impact the overall aesthetics of the videos that you watch. This week we're going to have another synchronous class session on Wednesday and Thursday nights for you guys. In that class session, you'll be having some discussions with me and with each other about aesthetics from what you talked about last week, but also some new things that I'm going to be sharing with you on the outline. I just wanted to go over this to kind of give you an example of how I kind of go through some of those choices on a very simple level with the videos that I make. I hope that helps you understand how you can analyze online video on a basic level and its aesthetics. I also hope you enjoyed watching my hair dry over the course of this video, and I look forward to talking to you later in the week about some of the aesthetics you notice in the videos that you're watching. I'll see you on Wednesday and Thursday.